Assalamu alaikum, my dearest kids, and welcome back to another lesson which is being organized by your school Metropolitan. In today's lesson, my dear kids, we are going to recap all the lessons we had before. So let's start with unit number 1, family and friends. Unit number 1, lesson number 1 was about listen and speak, right? In this exercise, my dear students, first of all, we did exercise A of page number 2 in our book, which was about placing the number on the in the box related to the picture given below the exercise. In exercise B, which was on page number 3 in our book, we did some fill in the blanks. There were some blanks in the exercise and we filled it up with the words. And after that, we did exercise C, which was also on page number 3 in book, and it was all about Fizza's tree. It was a family tree of Fizza which was started from grandma and grandpa, and it was ended in to the Fizza's brothers and sisters. After doing this lesson, we did lesson number 3, which was all about Uncle Umar's crocodile. In this exercise, my dear students, in this chapter we learned that Uncle Umar had some crocodiles in the garden of his house, and every one of his family was so afraid of them that they did not want Uncle Umar to keep them in the garden. Grandma, grandpa, auntie Farida, all of them were afraid of crocodiles. Then one day a burglar came to the house and he tried to take away the TV, but a crocodile from the garden caught the foot of that burglar and did not leave it, so that the burglar was not able to take away the TV. So that everyone in the house, Auntie Farida, Grandma and Grandpa, all were agreed with Uncle Omar to keep the crocodiles in the garden. After completing this story, we did difficult words and then vocabulary meanings and sentences. After doing all this work, we did exercise B on page number 5 in our text copy, which was about question answers related to this story. Then we did exercise A, page number 6 in our book, which was a short conversation between Auntie Farida and Uncle Umar, and we had to use some words given in the question. And in the last, we did exercise A of page number 7 in our grammar copy. It was all about punctuation. We had to put the capital letter of the word in the start of the sentence and full stop in the end of the sentence. Okay students, after doing unit number 1, we did unit number 2, which was about flying kites, and it was divided into two parts, the black kite part 1 and the black kite part 2. So in the very first part, Tariq was a boy who loves to fly a kite, but his father did not know how to fly a kite. But still they went upstairs, the father went upstairs with Tariq so that Tariq can fly the kite. They went up after struggling a lot. They were able to fly the kite. Then the father saw there was an uncle named Mr. Riaz was there reading a book. So he told his son to be quiet or talk slowly because he will disturb Mr. Riaz while he was reading. Then suddenly a black kite came out of nowhere, and that black kite first cut down Tariq's first kite, and Tariq was upset because he saw that his favorite kite went down to the street. But his father was so motivating to him that he said, okay, it's okay, come on, let's fly another kite, because they had 3 kites. Then they started to fly the second kite, but suddenly after some time that black kite appeared again and cut down Tariq's second kite as well. They were so they were having lack of motivation. Then suddenly they heard someone from behind saying to him something, and the part ended here. After that, after learning this part, we did exercise B, which is on page number 13 in the book, and we did it in the text copy as well. It was all about this chapter, and we had to choose the correct word from this exercise. Then we did vocabulary meaning, sentences, and there was another exercise which we did in book. It was exercise C, page number 11, and it was comprises on nouns. We had to write down some names of the noun which was given in the book as pictures. Then we did exercise B on page number 15 in our grammar copy, and in that particular exercise, my dear students, we put capital letters at the start of the word. Then moving on towards the second part, the person who called them from behind was Mr. Riaz, who was good at flying kites. He motivated Tariq to fly up his kite, which was left only one. Then suddenly the black kite again appeared, but Mr. Riaz was good at flying kites, so he guided Tariq, and Tariq cut down that black kite which went into the street just like Tariq's two kites. It was the end that motivation of Tariq helped him to get what he wanted. So in the end, we learned that motivation is everything. After that, we did exercise B on page number 16 in our text copy, which was about question answers related to both of the parts. Okay students, after doing unit number 2, we did definition of verb in our grammar copy, in which we learned that verbs are the action words. Whatever the noun is doing or done in the past is called action verb. Then we did forms of verb. We wrote 3 forms of these 5 words which are written here, like, eat, frighten, fly and take. We did 3 forms that are called forms of verb, and after that we did some translation related to verb. Just like if I'll do an example for you, मैं खाना खाती हूँ, I eat food. So the action which a noun is doing, the noun in this sentence is I, and the verb which I is doing is खाना खाने का, which means eat. So the verb here will be used eat, and the noun will be I. Then unit number 3, after doing this work in grammar copy, we did unit number 3, cooking it up. And in the very first exercise, this chapter was about a witch which was cooking stew in a big bowl, right? And in this exercise, we had to circle some words which were related to that particular witch, of that particular witch. And we did circle related to that picture which was given beside the exercise. After that, we did vocabulary meanings related to the chapter, sentences, and then picture composition, which is on page number 6, and we did it in our grammar copy. We did 5 sentences which were related to that picture. After doing unit number 3, we did unit number 5, what's it made of. And in the very first lesson of this unit, we did difficult words. After that, we did exercise B, page number 27 in text copy, which was about using some words having the same sound. After that, we did sentences, and then in the second last work, the exercise of this chapter was exercise D, page number 27 in a grammar copy. In this, my dear students, in this exercise, we match the 2 words which were having the same meaning. And in the last, we did forms of verb again of these words, right? We wrote 3 forms of these few words again as forms of verb. Okay students, the next lesson of unit number 5 was lesson number 3. It's about the shoemaker and the elf. This story is also divided into 2 parts, but we only covered part 1. So in this part, we discussed that there was a shoemaker who was very poor and had a little leather and thread of very few through which only one pair of shoe can be made. So he was about to make the shoe, but his wife came and said, you are very tired today, just make it tomorrow, right? Then suddenly when they came the next morning, they saw that there was a pair of shoe right in front of them on the table, and which was stitched very beautifully. They put that particular pair of shoe on the shelf, and then a lady came and bought it with 3 coins of gold. Then the shoemaker went to the market and bought some more leather and thread. When he was about to make the shoe, his wife came again and said, just make it in the morning because it's very late. So they went again to sleep, and when they came again back to their shop, there was 2 pair of shoes in front of them. They again put those shoes into the shelf, and a man came and bought them. But then they wonder that who is making the shoes when the shoemaker is going to sleep. So they both decided to hit in this shop and figure it out. Then when the night came and they were hidden in the shops, suddenly 2 elves came and hopped onto the table, and they started to make the shoe. In the morning, the elves left, but they left the shoes into the shoemaker's shop, right? So then after watching the whole thing that elves are helping them, the wife of shoemaker said that she want to help those elves as well. This was the story which was written about shoemaker and the elf in the part 1. After reading part 1, we did difficult words which were related from this chapter. Then we did vocabulary meanings, and we did exercise B on page number 29 in our text copy. And in this exercise, we had to tick out that particular sentence which was true and leave out the sentences which were false. So my dear student, this was all the things which we have learned till the last lesson. Now let's talk about what will come in the exam which you guys are going to give. So students, everything which we have covered, all the lessons which we have covered till today is going to come into your exam as question answers, or as fill in the blanks, as choose the correct answer, or as picture composition, right? So you all have to figure it out and learn properly that which exercises are important, because everything is important, but you have to learn it according to your thinking, right? Then all the exercises which are related to text exercises or grammar exercise or done in your book or copy will come into the exams along with the translation. Okay students, after the overview of all the chapter, now it's time to give you a short guideline of the evaluation exams of all the lessons. So my dear students, everything which we have done in our copies, in our books, all the exercises, question answers, and all the other exercises which are present over there, whether it's of grammar or text or the book exercises, everything will come in your exam. Your exam will be of 25 marks, and you all have to complete the whole paper in 90 minutes. So I guess you all have understand all the lessons. You have get the overview very clearly. Hope you will do great in your exam. Allah Hafiz.